What's going on, guys? It's your boy and the Matrix. I'm back with another video. So this video is not going to be about anime, video games, or whatever, right? This is not going to be a gaming video, an anime video. This video is about, I am ranting, okay? I am going to be ranting in this video because a lot of the things that you see happening in the gaming industry, and hey, even in the anime industry, has to do with, American corporations interfering and investing into gaming companies outside of America, trying to ruin those companies too, after ruining and after ruining gaming companies and video games in the West from companies like Naughty Dog, Ubisoft, and all these other companies. So I'm pretty mad.
Hello, this is Yami Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh! And make sure to subscribe to Andy Matrix's channel. Now on with the show.
I'm pretty mad. So, you read the title. America is a corporation, not a country. Okay? So, I am going to hurt somebody's feelings. With this video. So if you do not want you to get your feelings hurt about America, then I highly recommend you skip this video. But if you want to really know and understand what I'm about to say, then stick around because I think the information here is valuable. Okay, America is a corporation, not a country. Why am I saying that? Why do I say that? I say that because I first realized this when I left America in 2019. That was the first time I realized that Americans were being ripped off, that Americans were being lied to, that Americans were, despite of America being one of the richest countries on the planet, the American people were being cheated. And the American people, although we have nice houses and things like that, the American people were getting the way that America was being built with the idea of individualism. It's the result, okay? It is the absolute result why we are here today. So you see all these things that we're complaining about the movie industry sucking, and about the euphemism, right? The womanism, and the DEI, the rainbow stuff, and all these things is because of American individualism. Okay. By the way, I don't hate America. Because this is where I grew. So a lot of my dearest memories are in this country, but it's so sad that it turned out this way. So first time I realized that America was not a country, but rather a corporation, was when I visited Japan years ago. Okay, in Japan, Japan, they are homogenous people, right? They're homogenous. And the way that Japan was built, when you walk around Tokyo, when you walk around Osaka, when you walk around Kyoto, then, the major cities, you realize that Japan was actually built for the people. Japan was built for the people. Okay, the way that the country is built, the convenience of everything, it is built for people. It is not built for corporations. It is built for the convenience of the people. If you go to Japan, you will understand what I mean. Okay? So that was one of the first things. So if you look at the way that the American towns are built, I'm not necessarily like the old cities. Old cities like New York, Boston, Chicago, Philadelphia, those are old. Those cities are old. And those cities still have, some elements of how people used to build communities back then. But not anymore. Okay? So if you look at the old cities in America, those cities were built for the people, for the convenience of the individual. Right? For convenience of the individual. So the infrastructure is not pedestrian friendly in America, unless you live in old cities, and these old cities, because you got to remember, in the Northeast, where New York was, New York, Philadelphia, Boston, those were the 13 colonies in America. And back then, things were built with convenience. Things were built, when they were building these towns, these cities, they were building it with the people in mind, thinking about the convenience, how creating these towns for the convenience of people. Okay, so stay with me here. America refuses to add train systems like that of Europe, China, Japan. America, okay, America is a car nation. Okay, America is a car nation, and I'm not saying that you should hate your vehicle, but we were not given an option. Okay, many companies lobbied for, they lobbied against trains so that we would get rid of all the train lines and just and just build roads and highways so that people will be forced to buy cars. Okay, and cars are one of the number one reasons why people stay in poverty, right? Because if you want a decent job, you're gonna have to drive, unless you live in a city like New York, right? And the reason, again, I keep saying this, the reason why New York was so convenient is because it is an old city that goes all the way back to the 1800s. Okay, New York was built for convenience. That's why in New York you don't need a car, but the rest of America you do need a car. Think about newer cities like Los Angeles, like Miami. Cities like that, you cannot go anywhere without a car. So the cities were created not for the convenience of people, but they were created because they knew that America would be a car country. So they designed the cities in such a way that people will be forced to buy cars, and cars are keeping you poor. Think about how much money you put in your car: gas, repair, insurance, and the repairs can cost anywhere from $500 to $1,000. I want you to think about that, because people say, "Oh, Americans love their cars." Americans love their cars because we have no other option. If you go to other countries, people have options: trains, motorcycles, other means. The taxis are actually affordable, cheaper. It's easier to get around in other countries, such as like in Asian countries, like in Japan, Korea, Thailand, China. Transportation is so much easier as opposed to in America. In America, your transportation is your car. Bus systems suck in America, unless you take the Greyhound traveling from one state to another. Okay, so the infrastructure of America, is not friendly towards pedestrian. The infrastructure was not built for people. It was built for corporations, for the benefit of corporations. Okay, and because the states make money of your cars, and the insurance, car tax. I mean, I can name a number of things. Similar to alcohol, cars are a huge money maker for states. And now they're forcing you to buy electric cars, even though we don't have the infrastructure for electric cars in America. Yeah, I think China does, but not America. Okay, so again, America refuses to add train systems like that, like that of Europe, China, and Japan, because America doesn't care about its people. They care about corporations, and America is known for protecting its corporations, and they still do. Next, there are ingredients in your food that are illegal in other countries but are allowed in American products. There are ingredients in your food that are illegal in other countries but are allowed in America. Okay? It's true. It is very, very, very true. Okay? So that is why, I mean, you probably heard of people that when they leave America and they travel to Europe, or they leave America, they travel to Asia, Latin, or Africa, they lose weight, they feel better, they have, they're less bloated. Right? They're less bloated. Just by being in other countries. The reason why is because those other countries, their food products are much safer, they're more organic, they're more natural, and they don't have to worry about, a whole bunch of nonsense, a whole bunch of chemicals, preservatives, in freaking Monsanto Roundup, glyphosate in their fruits and vegetables. That's why people get healthier when they leave the country. Okay? Another thing is Americans are stressed out. Life in America is mostly about making money. right? I mean, decade after decade, life in America became more about making money. It's getting harder to make friends in America now. And I'm not talking about because I'm older now, but because people have changed. Everybody's too busy trying to make money. They don't have time for friends. The free time that Americans have, they use that time to try and make more money. Nobody has time for friends. Nobody has time for friends. In America, it's hustle, 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 hustle. Okay, in other countries such as those of Europe, Africa, Asia, Latin America, people actually enjoy their lives. They actually have time to enjoy their life, despite of whether or not they're poor. Even like if you travel to other countries, poor people eat healthier than Americans. Yeah, you heard me. Poor people eat healthier than Americans do in other countries. Why? Because the food is all organic. They're less likely to get sick. How do I know? Because I've traveled outside of America, bro. And I am an immigrant in America. I spent my entire life living in America. And when I started traveling outside of America, I realized what the problem was. The problem is that our leaders don't give a damn about us. Our leaders don't give a damn about us. You are a lab rat in America. You are a lab rat. And again, this video is going to hurt somebody's feelings. This video is going to hurt somebody's feelings. But I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Anyways, I just wanted to rant today. I wanted to rant. And again, America is not a country. America is a corporation. Keep that in mind. Whatever your thoughts are, make sure to comment below, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for future notifications. It's your boy, Andy Matrix. Godspeed, baby.